In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make dark trap beats from scratch. We're going to be implementing some music theory in this, nothing crazy, but something that you can follow to make it a little bit easier to understand how to make those chord progressions and melodies. Let's go. So let's bring up the tempo to like 150. I'm gonna just start this one off with the piano. So I'm gonna go into my Eternal Analog Lab Bank, just load up a piano real quick. We're gonna be in C minor for this, so I have the scale highlighting set up for that. So for this, we're gonna utilize one chord. So we're in the C minor scale. The one of the scale is going to be C. So if we go ahead and build out a chord on that, it's going to be a minor chord. So if we skip a note in the scale here and place, skip a note in the scale and place, we have the C minor triad. Another way you could see it is there's 2 spacings here and 3 spacings here, whereas the major version of this would be sharpened here. There'd be 3 spacings and then 2 spacings. So this would make it major, but as you can see, it doesn't fall in the scale. That's why the first chord of the C minor scale is going to be C minor, right? We can make it a 7th by skipping either 2 more spaces like this, so 1, 2, and then you'll see that in the scale, we just skipped 1 and place. If we skip 1 and place again, you'll see 2, 3, 2, 3. The major version would be the flip of that, so it'd be 3, 2, 3, 2. So we're gonna start off with the C minor triad chord, right? And now all I'm gonna do is use something called suspended chords. So if you were to go over here, you can go to stamp and you could hit a suspended 2 or a suspended 4, or you can create them yourself. So if we take this chord right over here, we have the C minor triad. If we were to take this middle note right here and we were to flatten it, meaning bring it down 1 semitone right here, we have a C sus2 chord. And if I were to show you this, I go in here, suspended 2, place on C, we have the C sus2. Now, if we were to take this note and go back to the normal triad, C minor triad, if we take the middle note like this and go up 2 semitones, so shift and up arrow, 1, 2, now we have a C sus4 chord. And if we go in here to suspended 4 and place this here, you'll see that this is what we have. And if you look real close, just from here, we skip 4 notes here and then skip 1. And then when we build out the C sus2, we have 1 and then we skip 4 notes here. And obviously you can always just go here if you don't feel like creating them. Now, what is the point of using these chords? Well, once we take these, if we get the C sus4 back right here, watch what happens when we play these all together. So we're utilizing the same root note, but you're gonna hear that we can create a nice dark melody with this. So just off of that one chord that we did here and then doing the suspended versions of it, we can take this, go over here, we can get a quick top melody by utilizing tension notes right here. So if we wanted to do something like D sharp down to D, and then we can utilize this G sharp right here down to G. So you'll see there's these 2 tension notes and these 2 tension notes. We could start to create a top line melody that has a lot of tension to it. We go something like this. Or we could take it and we can go a little bit faster. And we're already starting to create like a dark melody. So from here, we're just going to utilize the C major down to the sus2 up to the sus4. And what I want to do is take these and come up with a rhythm for this. We can create a bunch of different rhythms. Another thing I like to do is go right here to playback. So you can just highlight over notes. We can start off with the minor triad right here, but maybe we wanted to go to the suspended 4, to the suspended 2, just to get ideas. You could do something like that from the minor to the suspended 2 to the suspended 4. We could hit it again and just get ideas for this. All right, so now what we could do from here is take this over right here and go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you'll see that our root note is moved to F instead of C. But what I want to do is actually take all of the notes above F. So we'll select right here and then control and down arrow. And now we get something that sounds like this. One thing we can do is actually take this note right here and create a passing note, and we can go from somewhere like F to go back up to that G. So it sounds like this. So now what we'll do is go ahead and add really low notes, like 2 octaves down. So we'll go to like this low C right here, and we'll go ahead and place in the root note that we see here. And then we'll go ahead and follow the rest of the root notes. So let's go here, and then we can go back up to something like A sharp right here. Another thing we can do is take all these root notes right here, shift over, and then shift 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now we can start to create small chords with this pretty much. If you were to look at this, it'd be like taking the C and then building out a minor again, 1, 2, and then 3, or the G sharp. If we were to place one right in between these two, we have 3 and then 2. So this is going to be a major chord. If you were to look at these as triads, we really just added the 5th of the chord, because you have the root, 3rd, and then the 5th. And then from here, we could just transpose this up a little bit. And now let's change the sound to something more like a bell. And now we can get into like adding effects, processing, reversing it, all of that. So let's go back into the bank. Let's bring this up an octave, Control up arrow. Let's add portal on this. So let's throw this into mixer channel 1. Now what we're gonna do is export this, pitch it, and reverse it, and then we can get something crazy, and then we can add like violins, vocals, and stuff like that. But I always like to start with the solid foundation for the melody and then add effects, processing, and all that. All right, so from here, what I'm gonna do is export this melody out. So we'll hit Control A, Control Alt C. And what we're gonna do is reverse this and pitch it up. So let's pitch it up first and see what it sounds like. Go a little bit higher. Something like that. And then we reverse it. But then we want it in the same order as these chords here. So we need to actually chop every 2 bars and take the end like this and go backwards again. So it'll be reversing, but following the same chords. Then what I'm gonna do is export this again like this. Double click this, we'll go to stretch, but now we'll bring this out to an 8 bar like this. We need to add effects to it, and then you'll see what's gonna happen. So let's just go throw this into mixer track 2. And let's add the new hyper chorus from FL. See what I'm saying? It's already starting right. Now we just need some reverb. Two and a half seconds maybe. I already like how that's sounding. And now watch when we add like a violin. And I'm gonna get my go-to violin from Eternal, which is going to be right here. It's the only one in the kit, but this violin is crazy. So let's record something in. If you need high quality presets for your melodies and want to make the sound selection process easier, I've created multiple preset banks for Analog Labs that cover many genres. Every single preset is created from scratch and designed to make choosing sounds for your melodies easier. When you check out a bank on my site, you'll see that I've created a preview of each bank showcasing every single sound in it, so you know beforehand if the bank's right for you. After the video, hit the link in the description to check them out. And then last thing, I'm gonna layer a bass under this. One of my favorite basses is 808-2 right here. up an octave for this. I forgot to put it on cut itself. Come on. That's gonna go down to G sharp, and then it goes back to A sharp. Alright, so on Splice, I found these two vocals and then just brought them out to 8 bars. I added some effects processing on them. On the first vocal, I have hyper chorus again. This is the preset, and then a little bit of EQ. And then this vocal right here, I just have a big reverb on it. And then both of them mixed in sounds like this. This is the finished melody. Then we'll get into the drums, but let's hear this first. That's fire. Appreciate you watching. If you're interested in any of my kits or preset banks, there'll be a link to that in the description. Make sure to join the Discord, link to that in the description as well. Let's hear the full beat.